Hello, my fellow Canadians. Yes, I normally start these videos with saying hello to my American friends, but this is specific to Canadians, and it has to do, of course, with our upcoming election on Monday, the 28th. Uh, so, and it's this message for me today is about voting. Uh, and I like to make my case for my choice, and hopefully, for those of you who haven't voted yet and haven't voted for the right the right party, which is the Liberal Party. I'm laughing because, of course, we all have a choice in who we're going to vote for, and that's what a democracy is. They used to have a democracy in the United States, but apparently the folks that are in there now are trying to tear that all apart. But anyway, can't worry about that right now. We only have a few more days left. So yes, I did vote for Mark Carney. Even before he came into the picture, I did not like uh, Polyev. He just comes across to me as I don't know, spineless. He doesn't seem to have any policies. But aside from all that, keeping everything simple, I go by a lot of times a gut feeling, which I'm sure a lot of you do, and I'm sure a lot of you are your gut feeling is to vote conservative, and regardless of whether it's Polyev or whoever you vote, in it makes sense to you personally to vote for the party. It's kind of like my dad was a diehard Toronto Maple Leafs fan. No matter how many times they lost, he stuck with them. And there's something to be said about uh, you know um, picking a team and sticking with them, kind of like a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist or whatever. Uh, for whatever reason, you see sense in following the creed of a certain organization, and you feel comfortable with that, and you don't like, for whatever reason, you're stubborn maybe, and you just won't change your mind no matter what. My dad was like that, and he came from a time, he was born in like 1918, just after the First World War. So he'd be in his hundreds now. But people from that time, they stuck to their guns, as they would say, and you couldn't change their mind. He was a Catholic, and Protestants were evil. Didn't matter how good they were Protestants, so they were evil. And he wasn't a stupid man. You know, he was he was what he was. And so the point of me doing this is to try to appeal to your sense of, I don't know, intelligence, and maybe your or lack thereof when making a choice. If you're, I mean, again, you can do whatever you want. That's the whole point of a democracy. Vote for, you know, love or hate or like whoever you so desire to. And I will defend that. I was in the military, and I have a sense of what that's all about. And I would defend your right to vote for whoever you want. But that doesn't change my mind that I think that the best choice right now is Mark Carney and the Liberal Party. Now, if you don't like the Liberal Party, that's your choice. You have your reasons. I'm not going to try to change those reasons. What I'm attempting to do here is to say, what's the best choice right now? I mean, you don't have to stick with the same party, right? You know, if there's a better choice, and of course the better choice, in my opinion, obviously, is Mark Carney when it comes to uh, basically, you know, fighting against the Trump administration. You know, and I think right now that's the most important uh, subject that should be on your mind if you're Canadian. Um, and therefore, I think Carney, with his business experience, and we're talking, you know, trade deals and that sort of thing. Well, Carney obviously has the experience. I mean, uh, and forgetting all that, if you vote based on uh, simply the person's personality, how they present themselves, he's much more professional. He's much more prime ministerial than Polyev. Polyev seems to me like he's a big kid. Like he would, I don't know. It just he seems to me weak and tiny and like you know he seems to me like he has little man syndrome. And that's not good. He just doesn't seem. He's the kind of guy he's got this old attitude about politics, very much like my father's attitude about politics was. Um, we're Canadian. We compromise, like it, and he doesn't seem like he'd be the type of guy. He'd be like Trump. Whether he's right or wrong, he's always going to be right in his mind, you know. Where Carney, when I see him being drilled sometimes by our media, which is great. I'm glad our media's got a spine. Most of them compared to his the American media. I mean, oh God, thank God for the YouTube and places like Midas Touch and who present things mostly truthfully. Nobody's nobody or no organization is 100% truthful. I mean, sometimes you got to compromise in order to please people. I have, of course, an understanding of that where I'm not getting hardly any subscribers from my channel. So anyway, but I'm going to continue anyway and continue presenting my ideas the way I feel is true to myself, and then hopefully people will pick up on that truthfulness and find some interest. But yeah, so anyway, that's it. I just basically want you to think, and especially people who are on the fence still. Um, yeah, I mean, I just I just don't understand why you would want to vote for Polyev when he seems, like I said, a little shady, a little suspect. Doesn't seem to have much of a spine, and the type of guy who would cave in to someone like Trump, which is, trust me when I tell you, as a guy who, when I was a child, I was picked on. I was one of those kids that were bullied up until I started fighting back, and then for a while I kind of went the other way, which normal for a kid, I guess. Haven't developed completely, but I'm a big physical big man, and I have an opinion, and I can usually back it up. But I, my if my opinion, if I've looked at a situation and studied it, now you got to do a little studying here. You got to do a little work. My mind can be changed. Either I can change it, or I'll listen to somebody else, and if what they're saying makes sense, then I'll admit that even though I may have had an opinion on something that was really strong, if the argument is made that shows me through my diligence, through my researching things, it doesn't take it's not a big deal that to change your mind or to change your opinion on something. Yeah, sometimes it hurts when you find out that you're wrong, when you had convinced yourself you're right. So just think about that. Don't worry about being right. Worry about doing the right thing. That's all I'm saying. And in my opinion, that would be to vote liberal. Liberal. The stronger the liberals are, it's showing. It shows that Canada is united behind one government in a majority. And that's the best way to fight against tyranny, is to be unified. And yes, I know there's 20% or so, they say, Canadian population that would, you know, think that Trump, like most America, or half the population of America thinks Trump is the greatest. Well, there's, well, I'm gonna say it the way I say things. There are stupid people everywhere, so I can't do anything about it. They say you can't fix stupid. So forget the stupid people, and be intelligent and go out and vote. Even if I want you to, I would love you to vote liberal, but at least go out and vote. Like if the numbers are really, really, really high, that shows strength too. It doesn't, as long as if you get like an 80% turnout, like something crazy high like that, that's strength. You see, you don't have to agree with me to fight with me. You understand? Anyway, I'll leave you go now, and have a good evening, and enjoy your weekend and coming up. And God bless you. Take care.